Is there any hope in dating? Because I kind of give up. It's too much. Even the people that I don't really care about that much, like, the rejection fucking sucks. It's like, I feel like I'm so trapped in my hometown. Like, people that could maybe be worth it aren't willing to date anybody outside of where they live. And I don't want to date anybody where the fuck I live. You know what I mean? It's tough. And being a single mom doesn't help anything. I don't know, it just feels like life is like, fuck this fucking end of year, Christmas season, blah.
Well, you did ask us men to leave you alone so you can thrive. Good to see this is what thriving means for you all.
The reason why the dating pool is so trash is because of us. The women, I'm gonna explain. Women are so brainwashed that if you're single and that you're not committed or have a ring on your finger, that you could talk to whoever you want to talk to. You could date who you want to date. You can have sex with who you want to have sex with. We're brainwashed to think that. Listen, ladies, when I tell y'all, that's nasty. It says a lot about us as women if we feel like just because we're not in a committed relationship that we could do whatever the fuck we want. Why is it that what we want is to be outside? Why is it that what we want is to have a roster? That's a problem. And then y'all wonder why men treat us how they treat us is because we treat ourselves like this.
Be ready for the ran-throughs to hate on you for speaking the truth. Knew it was going downhill when men started asking body counts instead of what her interests are.
I would say that it was a shit show for me. But it's like in Denver, the men were feeling like they were the prize. And like, it's almost like the men in Denver were dating just to date or just to kind of like run their numbers up. Maybe I want a healing journey. Let's come get to know me. And so I just was not a fan of it's not enough culture there.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't a fan, honestly.
The standards are too damn high, in other words.
I just realized something, that even as a lover girly, even as a hopeless romantic, I have sort of organically stopped dating men. And I didn't realize it until recently. I haven't been on a date for more than a year now. And I've just stopped dating completely without actively thinking about it it wasn't an active decision. It just sort of organically happened. And I think it's a combination of what's happening in the world and just like the general disdain of men. But I've always been someone who enjoyed dating. I enjoyed the courting period. I enjoyed being taken out. I enjoyed the whole dating process. And I've always gone out with good men. I've always gone out with men who showed me a good time, who got me new experiences. I've never really had a bad date. Almost all the men I've gone out with are good men. Just, I've always had a good time. But to me, my standards are very, very high, and I need to have all the things that I need, especially like intellectually, and I need to intellectually spark. And if I don't find that, I'm not gonna date you. And that's just my standard. Everything else can change, but I need that intellectual match. And for that reason, I've dated a lot of men. I've gone on dates with a lot of men, but it's never really become a relationship, because for me, a relationship is very, very, you need to be at par with me. And I'm not saying they're stupid, but it's just not a match. But it's always been good men, and I've always had a good time. And I was having this conversation with my girlfriends recently where I was saying like, oh, I really stopped dating. I don't even think about it anymore. And they were saying like, we don't really understand, because you're the most hopeless romantic of all of us, and you also really enjoy going out. You've never had a bad experience. You generally like men, and men usually treat you well. So why are you not dating? Why have this happened? And I think it sort of happened organically, and I want to talk about it. It's also funny in this context of like having the article is having a boyfriend embarrassing, partly because of that, but also like the societal thing that's happening. But also my life was so full. My life is so much it brings me so much joy, and there's so much going on. I'm starting a startup. I have so many friends. I have a really vivid social life. My cup is like full and running. And I don't even think about them. I don't even think about men. I think that's what happened in the last 1 year, is that I just stopped thinking about them. I just stopped giving them not giving them even, just, it didn't occur to me. They just don't occur to me. And that's how I stopped dating organically. It's just that they just didn't occur to me. And now in hindsight, I can analyze it and sort of understand why that happened. Is, yes, I was busy. Yes, I didn't feel the need for them or want for them because I was fulfilled in my life in so many ways. But as a lover girly, as someone who loves romance and loves being taken out and like worshipped and all of those things, even that, I thought like if I stopped dating men, I would miss that. But organically, sort of, I forgot about them, which is so funny because I mean, unfortunately, I'm straight, so that's a very unfortunate thing. But I would just say, like, I didn't expect this to happen so quickly, because as someone who really loves romance and is a lover girly at heart, I thought it would take longer. But because last year was so busy for me and so vivid in my experiences and so full of life and romance in so many different ways, that I didn't even think about them. And now I really think of it, when I think of men or spending time with them romantically, let's say, it just doesn't seem so appealing. It just doesn't seem like a good use of my time. And I know that it's a mean thing to say, and I know that it's very on trend to say that, but it's yeah, I didn't think I would get here, but I think that's the collective women's experience that's getting us here. And I think that's a very good thing, because men do need to step up. And I think me, someone who hasn't had any bad experiences, someone who's a romantic, someone who's a lover girl at heart, even if I can get here, I just know that all the other women who probably has had reasons to boycott men or to not give them any attention, then it's so much more valid for them. But I just think it's funny that I'm in this place. And even if now I think of like actively dating, or I have to push myself to date because I want a family or because I want children or whatever, I still think of them as a liability. I still think of them as something that would drain from the life that I have now. Even if I want like romance in my life, or I want to be taken out, or I want to go on a date, and I want to feel that like feelings again of getting ready and going on a date and meeting someone for the first time. I really enjoy that. But it almost feels like I have to sacrifice something else, like sacrifice something important to me in my life, and it just doesn't seem worthy anymore. It's just like time spent with men romantically, there is no ROI on it, and only liability, or worse, just like it's a risk for you. And I think it's just, yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. I was just surprised to find this out about myself, that I'm at a place where I really don't enjoy men anymore romantically, and I don't want to spend time with them. So yeah, good luck to men out there.
Why are they always coming on the internet to cry about all that they feel is wrong with a man? Ma'am, what are you providing a man to change his exact same narrative about dating? Men are also basically done with finding women organically.
In 2026, if your boyfriend or situationship or whatever person you are talking to does this, he or she is cut. In 2026, live by the he is cut rule. This is what my friends and I are now doing. One of my good friends, we, I guess, became single at the same time and are going through like the dating phase at the same time. So we have a full-blown list going on together. It's like, if he does any of these, done. Dunzo, dunzo, dunzo. Let me just give you some examples. If he is not a man of God, cut. Faith, personally, is one of the biggest aspects and most important aspects of my life. So if a man is not leading me closer to God and following the word with me, no. And I know that one is definitely more niche. That's definitely not everyone's, but like, that's a personal standard of mine, so you get where it's going. For example, number 2, if he does not appreciate me, cut. Done, done, done. I've had that way too many times after being like such an amazing partner. Number 3, if he does not support my shopping addiction, it is important for my man to watch my shopping hauls because I have an addiction. Don't worry if anyone does. If he is not okay with work-life balance, cut. So many men are insecure about their partner also having a career and obligations. For example, like, I've been in situations in the past and there's no way they would be okay with like how much socializing my job entails. Like, today was a Sunday night. I had another networking event. But in careers, like, you don't say no to these things. Even if you're tired and it's a certain day that you typically stay home, you have to say yes to those. So a partner that does not respect that, guns. A partner that is avoidant or shows any sign of avoidance. I've dealt with that one too many times. Cut. Just ask God for discernment and you will be able to tell right away. A partner that does not work out and take fitness as seriously as I do. Fitness is personally my life. I'm training for a bikini competition. So I have like a ridiculous diet. I wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym every single day. If my man cannot wake up next to me and go to the gym with me and support it, cut. In shorter terms, gym boy is a necessity. If he does not take his career seriously, I feel like this is genuinely one of the biggest aspects. It doesn't matter what his career is, but a man that can, or a woman that can work towards something higher. Meaning like, okay, I say he's a sales associate, but he has a plan to work up to the next position and the next position and the next position and has more of that entrepreneurial, can't say that word, mindset. I have a very entrepreneurial mindset, so that is one of the most important things to me, and someone that has that personal drive. I think that is absolutely huge. I dated a man one time. He was very attractive and I fell for him because of that. And it backfired in my face. Guys, this man worked at Walmart. And I was like, okay, like, he's gonna work up to his highest potential at some point. He'll want to provide. He'll want to be the guy that I want. And we were at dinner one time. We were at this super nice sushi restaurant. And I was so happy because he was taking me to, like, a very high value, nice place. And the check comes. And again, he was doing everything right. But the check comes. And the waiter comes back and says, "Sir, your card was declined." And like, okay, I don't care. Like, I totally could have paid for dinner. But then he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I just got fired from my job." Like, sir, you got fired from Walmart? And he's like, "Don't worry though, because I do this other thing on the side, so it doesn't really matter because like I make money that way." And I was actually so impressed. He uses this thing called Pay Me. It gives him an extra like $200 a week. For getting paid for settlements, but that was the only smart thing that man did. I heard that that's what he's doing full time now because he still lives with his parents, so he doesn't have to pay rent, but that's how he makes his spending money. So I mean, if that's you, go do it, or if you were a high value person, do it on top of that.
Of course it's all about you. As always, me and me only. Women really are full of themselves, even in 2026.
When's the last time that you dated? I mean, I know you said you don't date, but I mean, have you?
I personally will not anymore. I don't make an attempt anymore. I don't care to. I don't want to date anybody. I'm way too happy by myself. Please do not bother my peace. But when I was trying, it's like I will find literally anything about you to hate, and then I will hate it forever, and you will never have a chance.
What?
I'm very toxic. That's why I don't do it. I will
okay.
not put somebody else through my toxicity. That's not fair.
In what ways are you toxic?
I will train you like a dog. It's like the littlest thing will set me off and I will just instantly never unsee it. The ick. And I get the ick with every single person I come across. I will be old and alone with 10 dogs.
And
happy.
This is fair. She's leading with it. She realizes she's the problem and does not date. Self-awareness for the win.
Well, I hope you guys are happy. That guy that I really liked, he found out about my job. He's been okay with it. I guess one of his friends told him. I was just waiting to tell him. I wanted him to get to know me. Not.
Come on, stop with the dramatics. This is what happens when, you make bad choices. Oh no, the consequences to your own choices. Oh no, like, what did you expect? Men tell you guys all the time that they don't want to date women who have OF, and then you guys are like, oh, well, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyways. And no, you were not going to tell him, shut up. And you should have told him at the beginning. Why were you hiding it if it's something you're so proud of?
You're not a victim. You just want all of the drama, sympathy, and attention you can get by playing the victim.
Ladies, this one's gonna sting, but most of the time it is not men ruining relationships. It is women sabotaging themselves. But first, let me explain. First is the victim mindset. If every argument turns into poor me, look what you did to me, you're not resolving the conflict. You're dodging accountability. Second, attention addiction. If you need outside validation, likes, stares, DMs to feel secure, you'll never be happy with the man that you're with. Third, lack of self-worth. If you drag your unhealed trauma into a relationship but refuse to face it and deal with it, you're making your partner pay for damage that they did not cause. These aren't just little habits. They are relationship killers. They destroy trust, create resentment, and eventually push away the man or woman you claim to love. And the hard truth, a lot of women would rather blame men than admit that they're guilty of these patterns. So before you say men are the problem, ask yourself, am I sabotaging my own relationship? Try to ask yourself that. If you're brave enough to admit that, you will change everything. If not, you're going to repeat the same cycle. Drop your take in the comments. I know this one is going to get a little heated.
Just take the lesbian women versus gay men statistics. Lesbians divorce in the same percentage and for the exact same reasons as hetero women. Gay men have 1/3 the divorce rate of lesbians. Clearly explains who the problem really is.
I'm twice married, twice divorced.
Are you dating?
No, I would like to date, girl. I haven't been on a date in like 10 years. Don't even.
10 years?
Muchacha. But I'm 50 plus. I'm looking for.
10 years?
I don't know if it was intentional, but I do feel like even if it's not intentional consciously, it's probably intentional subconsciously. Like I've prioritized other things. It needs to be no fuss. No, I don't need any extra work. I'm not trying to raise a man, kind of. So he tiene que estar ya cocinado, like
comes packaged already.
Like ready to go.
Yeah.
And additive, meaning like I got my life, I got my book, I got my career, I got my business, I got all my things. If you see a way to fit into that, great. If you're gonna try and take that away from me or like get in the way of that, I'm not really interested.
What's been really interesting for me is, on Threads, that's like my favorite thing right now. And I constantly see women share these stories of how they go years celibate and years no dating. Yeah. And I'm like, that is so interesting because I'm starting to hear more and more women like share that information. And I'm just like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Single people typically always say the same things. They are experts in being single, one excuse at a time.
Here's why women are in a perpetual state of permanent unhappiness whenever they're dating. Let me explain. The problem that you are going to notice and that you are going to run into is that they are constantly optimizing for hypergamy. So this is the problem, is they will never love you the way that you love them. So the problem is this: as soon as you start to love them, or as soon as you start to emotionally overinvest, what happens is that how she feels on almost like a primal level or like a biology level, however Mother Nature hardwired, however Mother Nature made them, any weakness that they start to find physically or emotionally in that man, their senses will now tell them to go find a stronger, better option. Sometimes he's taller, sometimes he isn't. Sometimes he makes more money than you, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's better looking than you, sometimes he's not. But what she's really looking for is a man who does not go emotionally weak.
I'm convinced they are always in a perpetual state of unhappiness, except when they are with their girlfriends. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.